Hi, welcome back to Tiny Classrooms Live.
Hi, the doctor here, Don, Taos, New Mexico.
And I'm the HR guy, Artie Nathan, in the Adirondack Mountains.
Hi, I'm Lilli Rode from Germany, and I'm a business strategist.
Maike also from Frankfurt, Germany.
And our topic today is a continuing look at different perspectives on reactions to COVID-19. You know, Don and I have been talking for weeks about how this pandemic has affected us here in the United States. And last week we introduced you to Lilli and Maike talking about what's going on in Germany. So we'd like to explore that a little deeper today. You know, when this pandemic started and everybody got sent home, we were laid off. People weren't getting paid. The government subsidized the wages for several months. And then companies reopened, found out that, well, they didn't have as much business as they expected, and they really started laying people off without wages. Is that the same kind of thing that's happening in Germany?
No, Artie, it's actually a bit different. So probably part of the story is that Germany's been always a country of social security. So where the government had a strong interest combining economic but also social factors. And we actually, as a fact, pay a lot of taxes. So that's definitely something that has allowed the German government to support companies and to subsidize either companies directly or either the workers in the pandemic. So what I mean to say by this is that the subsidies have not run out yet. So the government is still supporting people who have not been laid off. They work maybe only 50, 60% of the time, and the government fills up the rest of the pay, so to say. And the idea why Germany is doing this, because of course it costs million and billion after a billion, but the idea is once we get back to normal, maybe around Christmas, maybe sometime next year, the economy will have picked up and we won't need to lay off people in the end.
That's very interesting.
It's very interesting, and it's sort of rooted in the history of the German economy and government that I became very familiar with in the early 70s when I lived there. So, Artie, what's next?
Lilli, are you and Maike it looks like you're in an office. Is that true? You're not remote?
Yes, we are in an office. So downtown Frankfurt, we are surrounded by all the big banks and the skyscrapers here. And so also what is really interesting is to see that all the buildings, like for example, we have here a bank with 52 floors and normally totally occupied, has now only 5 floors full with people. All the others are remote at home. So I think this is kind of similar to US if we think about New York.
And is Zoom used as universally in Germany as it is here in the United States?
Mostly, yes. So mostly Zoom is used, and of course, internally of bigger companies, they use a lot of Teams as well. But Zoom is I would say the most used platform.
The winner of the crisis.
Yes, absolutely.
So with all the Zoom use, similar to here in the US and I guess throughout the world, what kind of fatigue, what kind of response fatigue is occurring for those who are working remote?
So I think mostly, or when it all started and everybody was totally excited about being home and having now the opportunity to visit a lot of webinars and to a lot of information. So we also figured it out in our business when we started with our workshops. So everybody was totally excited and it was a full room, so to say. And then after a few weeks, it fell down. So because people were overwhelmed and it was too much, they have under-expected their ability to listen and to follow up, I would say. What would you say, Maike, additionally?
You know, it's very interesting to hear you explain what's going on in Germany, which is frankly very similar to what's going on here in the United States. And thus, I guess we can assume it's going on all over the world. This is a worldwide pandemic, and our reactions bring us together in many ways in addition to Zoom. So thank you for giving us an additional perspective today. And we'll be back with both of you again next week.
Looking forward.